The province told the CBRM, hey, if you don't like Bill 340 and the new deal we have for you, opt out and work on the charter that you've done nothing with in years. And just so you know, that's a red herring. If you don't know what a red herring is, it's something designed to be distracting or misleading. It's not oily fish in a peel open can. But an even more important definition is, what the heck is a charter in the first place? Hi, I'm Joe Ward of Boxer Shorts Media, and I, just like many of you, can get overwhelmed by the constant barrage of nonsense coming from political folks. Now, my immediate reaction to seeing the CBRM offered a chance to pursue their charter was to be irritated to discover that they haven't done any work on it whatsoever and don't even actively meet on the topic. They'll tell us, but the province told us not to bother. The new deal with Bill 340 was going to be so good, we wouldn't even need a charter. Well, congratulations, you took the sucker's bet without a fuss, as if it was your first day entering the political realm, a world of bullshit and broken promises. But what is a charter? Well, Matthew Giorgio of GoCapeBreton.com realized that political folks were throwing around the term when the general public really didn't understand what it meant. And he has a forte for explainers and simplifying complex topics into stuff we can all understand. I'm going to include the link to his explainer article in the video description, and I'd like you to check it out. I'm only going to do a brief review of what he described, but you should read the whole thing for yourself. It's a one-pager, but it's clear and it's a valuable read. Every municipality in Nova Scotia is subject to the MGA, or the Municipal Government Act. That's how the province tells us what we can do and what we can't do. And as Giorgio points out, the two ways to do stuff that the MGA doesn't otherwise allow us to do is to either A, get special one-off permission to do something specific, what I tend to call a la carte, or B, make a charter. And you can think of the charter as an extension of the MGA specific to a single municipality. It outlines a set of specific things that the municipality can do that the others won't have available to them. Now, there's a big difference between the HRM, the CBRM, and all of the other much smaller municipalities or towns in Nova Scotia. And there may be a point in which the MGA, despite being designed to work for all of them, simply becomes too restrictive in some way. For instance, as Councillor Gillespie calls for term limits for councillors, as he also prepares to run for his third term as councillor, imposing those term limits is not included in the MGA, the Municipal Government Act, so it could potentially be added to a charter. Or, if the CBRM wanted the ability to offer tax incentives to spark acceleration in new housing development and growth in our tax base, the limitations on how taxation is managed could be revised in the charter. Or, if they really wanted to remove the property tax cap, as Mayor McDougall has endorsed, and adjust how it works differently from the rest of the province, an opt-out capability might be encoded into such a charter. So that's it. If you can't do something because the MGA won't let you, and the MGA isn't going to be changed for everyone, then you either get special permission as a one-off, or you get a charter approved that gives you the authority to do the things differently than the MGA allows. So now that we're more or less clear on what the concept of a charter is, why is Minister John Lohr offering the CBRM a charter, if they opt out of Bill 40, actually just a red herring or a distraction? Well, it's pretty much a distraction because the charter isn't the same thing as a municipal service agreement with the province. It's an apples to canned fish comparison. It's not supposed to define how much money the province provides in equalization. It doesn't define the formula for how that money is distributed. It doesn't indicate how much the province charges us for services like education, corrections, or public housing. The CBRM needs a better service agreement, and historically, they've also needed or wanted a charter. One really doesn't replace the other. Just as the Municipal Government Act is for all municipalities, but a charter is for individual municipalities, Bill 340 is for all municipalities, but a special service exchange deal could be made for the CBRM. But let's be clear here. The CBRM is more than happy to join the same Bill 340 deal as everyone else, as long as the deal is better than the current version being floated. Double the equalization grant for everyone again, or take provincial education expenses off of our books along with corrections and public housing, and then the stalemate is over. The CBRM gets what they want, and every other municipality that thinks Bill 340 is okay now gets a lot of extra gravy. The CBRM deserves criticism for having done no work on their charter and for probably not having a clue what they'd actually like included in one, but it doesn't have much to do at all with Bill 340. So if you hear MLAs Brian Comer, John White, Premier Houston, or Minister Lohr, or any other representatives of the Nova Scotia government talk about a charter in this context, ignore it. It doesn't really belong in that conversation. Kudos to Matthew Giorgio for recognizing the need for greater public awareness for what a charter actually is and what it isn't. And by the way, he wrote that article 6 years ago. You'd think the CBRM would have something on paper by now, right? For all videos, subscribe to Boxer Shorts Media on your choice of YouTube or Facebook.
Please hang up and try again.